If the Nexus 1 was the reference phone for Android before, there's now a contender in the shape of the Nexus S, made by Samsung under Google's supervision, running Android 2.3 with no manufacturer meddling, improvements. It's got a 1 GHz Hummingbird processor and is a familiar large screen tablet, apart from the unusual concave glass on the screen. The display is the usual Samsung 4-inch Super AMOLED 480 by 800 capacitive touchscreen. Let's hope they've got enough components to go round this time. There's a decent 1500 mAh battery, a mediocre 5 megapixel camera, plus Google's choice of toys. Gyroscope, compass, proximity sensor and near-field communication chip, a first on Android. Sadly, there's no microSD expansion, just a 16GB internal chip. Android 2.3 itself will also come to the Nexus 1, which I'll mention later again in the show, making that a bargain way to play with most of this version. It includes a better software keyboard, better copy and paste, better text selection, better voice over IP, and basically slicker, smoother everything. And there's a whole new generation of Google Maps coming along for the ride. I can't wait. Smartphone recommendations. As in my last look at smartphones for different use cases, I'm going to recommend one for each, with perhaps a runner-up, all at December 2010. In fact, I've even added a use case at the end, so 8 in all, something for everyone. As before, every real-world user is going to be a mix of the various use cases, but at least it'll give you a place to start. Media creator. Well, that's me, I guess. You love taking photos with your phone, shooting videos of your family, friends, of the world around you. Having a great camera and camcorder with you at all times is the highest priority when choosing a smartphone. On the shortlist are the Motorola XT720, great xenon-lit stills, but rubbish video capture. The Samsung Galaxy S, okay stills, but decent video with continuous autofocus, it seems. And the ever-present Apple iPhone 4, good stills, even in quite low light, plus a tap-to-focus manual system for video that sometimes works quite well. Plus the Nokia N86, quite old now, excellent stills, even in low light, plus terrific video with superlative audio track, and only let down by the VGA resolution. But you won't be surprised to hear that the Nokia N8 is my winner here. Xenon-lit nighttime stills are superb. Video capture at 720p is excellent in most light conditions. This is shot on the N8. And audio capture is as good as the N86. A worthy number one. Communications junkie. You love staying in touch via email, Twitter, instant messaging, Facebook. You need a good screen and a great QWERTY keyboard along with responsive software. In the shortlist here are the Nokia E72, still a super little form factor let down by the physical screen size, and an aging software version of Symbian, plus any number of similar Blackberries with much the same issue. I was tempted by the brand new BlackBerry Torch, but it comes down the end to the HTC Desire Z and Nokia E7 as runners-up, though neither can really win because I haven't actually had hands-on with them yet. There's also the iPhone 4 again, but I'm going to plump for the HTC Desire HD here. Android plus Sense UI plus the great software keyboard and huge display make for the most capable multitasking social and communications phone on the planet. Hardcore mobile gamer. Never mind Bejeweled and Tetris, we're talking real-time rendered 3D gaming, from first-person shooters to touring car racing to flight simulation to fantasy aerial combat and everything in between. Here the iPhone 4 steps up to the winner's step and reigns supreme. Other handsets such as the Galaxy S, the Desire HD, Nokia C7 and many others all have the same graphics power, but the mass of quality titles for iOS is just stunning. No contest. And if you want a runner-up, it's the iPhone 3GS. Media consumer, you love your music, your video collection, your audio and video podcasts, internet radio, BBC iPlayer downloaded programs, access to YouTube. Although the iPhone 4 is a capable media device, it's tethered too much to iTunes and the desktop for my liking, and you really have to know what you're doing to free it up. My runner-up here is from the Android world. I'm torn between the two big screen handsets, the Galaxy S and the Desire HD, but in the end, it didn't matter because the Nokia N8 has to be the winner here, with excellent anti-reflective AMOLED screen, stellar video codec support and graphics playback, HDMI and traditional TV out, Dolby Digital Plus, a good loudspeaker, audio playback controls in the stereo headset. Its only weakness really is the slightly lower quality of the streamed YouTube playback. Even that got an update recently. Oh, and the lack of a kickstand. I use this £2 accessory from eBay, but I can forgive these to get the rest of the media goodies. Work addict. What's needed here is complete Microsoft Office editing compatibility, good PDF viewing, full Google Docs access plus interoperability with as many email systems as possible, superb battery life, plus a great conference call capability wouldn't go amiss. Again, this use case is rather hampered by the non-arrival of the Nokia E7 and the HTC Desire Z, which I've yet to get my hands on. They both look good for this slot in a month or two's time. The diminutive Nokia E72 and even the older E90 are still decent, if flawed, contenders here, both with full office editing, great battery life, great speakers, etc. And in Nokia messaging, a very capable email setup. But I'd love to recommend something new, and I really can't, not yet. Every device is too much of a compromise here. Ask me again in 3 months. Ah yes, tech enthusiast, hacker, fiddler, you know who you are here. You think nothing of spending an hour or two fiddling with new themes, rebuilding your system disk to regain an extra few megabytes of space, or following a 10-step command line procedure to gain extra unsupported functionality. And you don't mind a phone being a work in progress from the manufacturer. Runners up here include the Samsung Galaxy S, which people have been hacking and fiddling with out of necessity to try and fix the speed issues, plus the very extensible Palm Pre, and even the iPhones if you're into jailbreaking and risking Apple's wrath. I almost went for the Nokia N900 here, running MIMO, a development of Linux, which can also be dual booted into MeeGo and more. Impressive stuff, if horribly on the cutting edge. But my winner here has to be the year-old Google Nexus One. As each new build of Android is released, this baby gets the latest software toys first, so you get to play ahead of the rest of the world and tweak Android to your liking without any nasty manufacturer meddling. And the Nexus One isn't expensive now on the second-hand market. I got one for just over £190. Still stuck in customs from the USA though. Webaholic. Never mind applications and local utilities. What you need is the World Wide Web in your pocket. Full websites, full functionality, including Ajax, JavaScript, and yes, Flash where necessary. What you need is your desktop's web browser in your pocket. The N900, just mentioned, has a startlingly good web browser, so ends up a runner-up in this use case too. The iPhone 4's Safari is still a speedy way to browse around, despite the lack of Flash and bells and whistles. But there really isn't any competition for this section. It has to be one of the very latest Android phones, specifically the one with the biggest, clearest screen and latest browser with Flash, the Desire HD again. It's effectively a tablet browsing experience in a phone. Impressive. And so to normobs, normal mobile users. Which smartphone should I recommend to a normal mobile user, someone who won't welcome bulk or complexity or poor battery life or expense or instability, many of the things that are characterized by the phone so far? Runners up here are the HTC Desire, that's the old and cheaper one, and the Nokia C601 with its diminutive size and fabulous CBD, that's clear black display screen. But pick of the pops here is the iPhone 3GS. I think this is my daughter's, apology for the styling. Cheaper than the iPhone 4, yet with a clearer screen outside, better phone reception, and all the iPhone apps from the App Store that normobs love to try out. My daughter's got hundreds, bodily noises included. Thanks for watching the phone show in 2010. I couldn't have done it without you. Please keep the support coming in. Please remember the new URL, stevelitchfield.com. The old server's dead and buried. Have a great Christmas, a prosperous new year. Thanks again.